Hey folks, Jonathan here. I wasn't going to do any video today, but it's actually Father's Day and I haven't done much today. Picked up a wreck early this morning, about 6 o'clock. Come back in and actually went back to bed, which is the first time I've done that in years and years. But been pretty busy, so I wasn't feeling the best. But anyway, I wanted to show you where we was at, what we was doing, and all that good stuff. And I thought maybe I would go ahead and give an update to everybody that I'm sure, we get so many questions that it pretty much tells me that, everybody hasn't seen the early videos, which I totally understand, and not a big deal. But I just want to run through some stuff here real quick and just tell everybody one more time what we've got here and what we're using, and we'll go from there. And I'll let you know what I've got planned and show you what work I have got done, which is not much, but I'll show you either way. All right, we've got our everything sitting together here, and as you can see, we've set up just a makeshift thing for our mag. I'm just trying to get an idea. I mean, this is the best way I can engineer, is just by sitting back, looking, trying to get an idea on what I want to do, and we'll talk to you about that in just a minute. But all right, for anybody that's tuning in that hasn't seen the early videos of, and we started on this I started on this actually in February, so it's been a long time. I mean, it's a lot longer than I thought it was. Looked at the videos and I realized it had been quite a while since I actually started on this engine, but it is what it is. All right, this is a B29 Super Fortress APU unit cylinder. APU means auxiliary power unit. And this actually was a 2-cylinder, and it ran the cylinder anyway. It ran a generator, and I think it was 24 volt. I'm pretty sure it was. Kept the batteries charged, for the starters on the engine and all that good stuff. But just auxiliary power. That's exactly what it was. And from what I can see, they was only made for the B29s. I guess they use different ones in different planes, but that's what history says. So anyway, that's what we're using there. The piston inside is a Yamaha 225, and I'm not sure the number 225. It's a 4-stroke piston. I bought it because it was the bore I wanted. Cheap Chinese piston, 20 bucks, free shipping. Just not much to it. Okay. Crankshaft is a Yamaha YZ250, and I got it just because I liked the stroke on it. Again, it was cheap. Jumped on it, bought it on eBay, with intentions to build this engine. I mean, I bought it before I'd ever even started, but I mean, that was my intentions. So okay, what we've got is 280 cc's, and it's kind of weird because the crankshaft has come out of an engine that was 250 cc's, and the piston came out of an engine that was 225 cc's. So it's kind of funny that we ended up with 280, but the reason was this would have had a bigger piston. Oh, wait a minute, let me redo that. The crankshaft, the YZ, would have had a smaller piston than what we've got, and the piston that's in it would have had a shorter stroke to get to 225. So by taking the two big parts basically from them two different engines and putting them together, we ended up with 280 cc's. And anyway, what else do we got? We got the cams, which are Briggs & Stratton FH. One's an FH, one's an FI. Basically same thing. And these came from, I think, the 1920s, early 20s through mid 20s or something like that. Used these cams. They only used them for exhaust because they had an atmospheric intake valve. But we're using one for exhaust, one for intake. And they'll actually mount right in here in the back side, and we'll get on that part soon. And magneto, this was, I have no idea what it was originally off of. It's a Dixie mag. It's the same thing that they used on old motorcycles, except this one was set up for probably an electric start engine, because it didn't have a lever on it to retard and advance it. And some of you may have watched the video, of me making that stuff and putting the Volkswagen points in, getting it firing. So we know we've got a good one there. just trying to get an idea where I want it, make a mount and all that. Carburetor that I had planned to use, Schrebler, and I had once thought that these were just aftermarket. You could buy, which you could buy them in Popular Mechanics, but the reason that you could buy them there is they were, I guess, military takeoffs or something. But these was on generators from the military, and they was actually on a little tiny 4-cylinder Hercules IXB, I think is what it was, engine. But and I've actually got one of the engines with one of these carburetors on it. Now this is the same carburetor I got on my other bike, the one that I built with the air compressor turned into an engine. And the plan was to use this one, but I'm sort of working away from it. And the reason I say that is you can see where my mag's mounted. This will be behind the engine, and I don't want it up in front of the engine. You know, I want the cylinder, the mag, here's the intake, exhaust coming out over here at the front, just like a motorcycle engine. And you know, we've got to have room for our belt to run through here to our back wheel. And because if I do it, I'm going to run a big pulley on the back wheel. It's going to have the belt drive like the old ones had. Here is the problem. Anywhere I mess with it and mount it, I'm kind of, because it's got to mount low because it's an updraft. Updraft meaning that it pulls the fuel up through the carburetor through this neck. A downdraft would be on a car, you know, push down. A side draft would come in from the side. It's pretty self-explanatory, but this being an updraft, it's kind of cramping our style, let's just say. So I've been looking at carburetors, looking at a bunch of different ones on eBay, and the problem with carburetors on eBay is you have no idea what size they are, because they don't, you know, they don't list bore size, they don't list Venturi size, anything like that, which I totally understand that too. But anyway, I bet on an Amel carburetor, which is a British carburetor. I was looking at the Seagull carburetors, which were, I think they was made by Villers, but I sort of like the design and style of them, because I'm trying to get something that not only looks old but will work. I mean, that's the two things that sort of kill me here, because I can get plenty of carburetors that'll work, but they won't have the look that I'm that I'm going for. So I'm hoping to get a carburetor and build an intake that just comes out and curves back. Now this is not a full 90, and I don't think it's 45. It's probably steeper than 45, but looked like maybe 60-degree angle. Anyway, come out, come back, mount the carburetor right in here, straight above our piece here, and we're hoping we can do that. And I'm going to keep looking, and you know, I can save this other one for another project. It's not a problem, but we'll see how it goes. The Amel carburetors they used on Nortons, BSAs, Triumphs. I'm sure the guys there from UK will be familiar with them. Good carburetors. And trying to get if you try to get a side draft Schrebler or a side draft Linker, that's the other one. If you try to get one of them, you know, you're looking at $800 to $1,000 or something like that. And I'm not buying that for, to put on here. And size-wise, as long as it looks decent, I mean, it don't bother me too much, because most of these carburetors I can change the Venturis in. I can do a little work. Now, a variable Venturi like a motorcycle carburetor I can't, but I think we can get by with. Let me see, what else? Working on getting an idea on my gears too. And here would be one gear. It's a pretty good sized gear. And then, let's see where I put my other one. This would be the one on the crank. This one's 16S32 or something like that. I mean, it's just double. And we had looked at this before. And I do have these, which is a little tiny 25 chain. And I don't know, I don't like the looks as well. I think I'm going to go with the bigger ones, the 35. And the 35 is still not a big chain. I mean, it's a pretty small chain. Exhaust will probably just come out and down and maybe across under the bottom or something. Not a big deal. We're not too worried about the exhaust. We don't need the exhaust to run anyway. We'll just run a little short pipe or something on it. Let me see. I guess that's it for that. And remember, the the block is actually made out of Dodge, Chevrolet, and Ford pistons. You know, we melted all three of them down in the same pot there and mixed them all together. So you know, that's what they are, and the big three. So I will. I'm going to show you what I've been working on the rocker shaft now. Okay, I've still got this set up on my my old Lindsay jig bore, or Lindley. I'm sorry, Lindley jig bore. This is the piece I was talking about that's going to bolt on the top of the cylinder head, and as you can see, I've got it turned down. Well, machined down small here, and I've been running a half-inch ball mill through there, and you can see it's a little rough, but it's not a big deal. But basically, what's going to happen is this is going to sit in. Okay, we'll cut out the spots we want for our rockers to come through, and then we're going to take and put a flat on the shaft, and then we're going to drill through the shaft through our mount and then bolt it right into our top of our head. So that'll actually hold our rocker shaft down and hold our stand down, and then I will drill holes in this, and they'll actually bolt to the top of the head also. And I've got, let me see, I've got this other cylinder. I've got the other cylinder right here, and this maybe will give you an idea. Here's the original. Okay, there's the original. Let's see if I can. Okay, and of course the rocker went on, and it was basically 1-to-1 rocker ratio. So what we're doing is we're moving our fulcrum point to the center of these holes, and we're doing it by this piece. We'll have to curve out a couple spots for it to fit, you know, around the valves, and then like I said, I'm going to drill and tap these, or tap them actually, and maybe I'll have to see what size they are, but tap them to 1/4 We're going to be using these two and these two outside bolts. This will actually, the rocker stand will go on, this will go directly above the bolt holes, and the flats will be ground on this, and it'll go through this and the rocker stand right down into that hole. So that's going to move our fulcrum point to directly above them bolts, them two outside bolt holes. And so that's how we're going to accomplish that, and that's what this is for. And this just is going to fit in just right. And I'm working on getting my height on it right, and then we'll finish up, you know, the grinding, machining around it, and get the holes drilled in it. And of course, like I said, it'll be machined out here and here. I'll probably leave a center section just for support, maybe run a bolt through it into that, but you know, not be able to go all the way through to the head. And then I'll do the same thing on the end, you know, and this will actually fit in between. So and this is not the rocker shaft we're using, because this is actually really hard, and this is what we're going to use. This is exactly 1/2 inch, and this is what we're going to use on our cams. I'll show you that. Okay, the cams actually ran a originally just a short pin, about like what we're going to do, and these cams actually fit directly on this shaft and spin just fine. So and like I said, this is hardened shaft, so we will have 2 holes bored, and I'll do the measurements on the gears and put them exactly where they need to be, and this will actually slide into the block. Now we won't go all the way through, I'm actually going to use I'll probably ream the hole, you know, down to it, but we'll put them in, and then they'll actually come up there, and they're going to come into the cover that we're going to build, and we're going to make it out of wood first, but basically that's we'll have two of these short, and that's what they'll spin on, and of course our rocker stands and all that stuff, which I've explained a few times. But anyway, I think the next thing to do, like I said, is I'm going to keep working on them rockers, try to get that rocker stands done, but I'm also going to go ahead and get this back down. I'm going to counter sink this piece down in, and it's got to go in about the thickness, well, about a 1/4 inch, and So it's going to go down into the block about 1/4, and that'll get our compression height right where I want it. And we'll just start getting all this little stuff done. I got to get the slinger done on the crank, or on the rod, I'm sorry. And then I'm going to probably add some, I want to add an old drain in the bottom, which, this block's plenty thick enough to drill and tap, no problem. So we'll pipe tap it. I'm going to put a drain in the bottom, and then I want to put a high and a low level. And that's how you used to check your oil in engines. Now, most all the motorcycle engines were 100% loss. They lost all the oil. Fresh oil come out of the tank beside the gas tank all the time. And anyway, so we'll figure out where we're going to do it. We'll put 2 valves on it. Maybe one here and one here. For our high and our low. And what you do is you turn your low on, make sure the stuff coming out. If there's no oil coming out your low, then you would close it. You open your high, and then you'd fill your oil, and which I can put one right here for that. And then anyway, you fill your oil until it comes out your high level, and then shut it off. And that's how you would adjust your oil height. So the bottom one's really to check, and the top one's to tell you when you got it full. So that'll work out fine. And we'll come up with maybe something that looks good for a fill. These engines wouldn't have had it originally, but I want to run oil in the crankcase. So a lot of people has asked about the oiling of the top end, because all this will be going. There'll be open push rods, and everything will be open. And this is 2 different oil pumps for top end oiling. That's what I'm going to use. That's what they used back in the early days on a lot of engines, and it's not a big deal, because we're not running this thing 100,000 miles, nothing like that. It's sort of fun to do that. When you're getting ready to run it, that's part of the whole experience of it, is to be able to put you a few drops of oil down your rocker holes, and get everything ready to run. I mean, that's just part of it. And so that's definitely gonna be our oil pumps. But all right, well, we're gonna leave it at that, and I appreciate everybody watching. And I know this wasn't much of a video. It wasn't no work video for sure, but I just wanted everybody to get a little better understanding of what we're doing, and where we're at on it, and what we've done so far, and what parts that we've used. And it'll all work out in the end, and we'll have her running before it's over with. I'm probably more excited than anybody to see the smoke rolling. So anyway, all right, appreciate everybody watching, and again, happy Father's Day, and until next time, bye. We got a new dog here. Don't know whose dog it is, but come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Who do you belong to? Come here. You're too little to be out on your own. Come here, buddy. First time it's come up to me. Come here. Come here. Oh, you're a good puppy. You don't have a collar on, do you? No? People are really bad about dumping dogs off out here at the corner, because there's not really any houses around. And, God, I hope they didn't drop this dog off. I mean, poor little thing couldn't fend for itself. What's wrong, buddy? What's wrong? You're just a cutie pie, ain't you? Don't get scared. Don't be scared. Anyway. We'll get a picture of him and see if we can find out who runs it. Alright. I guess you're the shop dog now, huh? You the shop dog? That's the first time that dog's come up. It usually runs from everything. I've been seeing it for about the last 3 days. He's okay. Well, come here. You hungry? Come here. All right. I'll get with you here in a little bit. I'm going to run in and see if I can't get this dog some food. All right. Well, I got it some food and come back out and it's nowhere in sight. So I guess if I get hungry, I'll have something. Oh, there it is. Come here. Come here, buddy. You still in here, wasn't you? Come here. Come here. Come here. Hmm? Come here. Don't run. Hmm? You don't need to run. Here. Come here. Come here. Come here. I know you couldn't have that and eaten in a few days. There you go. All right, you have fun. All right, I'm moving. I'm not gonna scare you. Oh, good eat. All right. Anyway, let me get at something on this motor. What's wrong, puppy? What's wrong? I fed you and gave you some water, and now you, huh? Now what is it? Hmm? Come here. Anyway, all right. It's okay. I gave you a place to lay down. Well, I figured out it's a girl dog, and she seems to be crying a bunch. I think all she wants is some attention. Poor little thing. Come here. You just want attention? Hmm? Hmm? You got food and water over there. Why don't you go over and lay down? Hmm? Go over and lay down. Go over and lay down. All right. Okay, anyway.